I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated.
In this video we're going to show you how to improve your pull-up, and we're going to show you different stages of how you I can't do a pull-up right through to I'm doing pull-ups really quite well. So we're going to go through different bits and pieces, different progressions and regressions to help you get that upper body strength to lift the whole of your body up to that point.
Never seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist.
Okay, so the first thing we want to do is actually hang well. Now when I say hang well, I'm looking at the shoulder position that we need to create. So what we definitely don't want to do is hang on and then just droop her in where her arms are stuck to her ears. We need to be starting to engage the lat muscles, so the big prime movers of this movement, and keep our shoulders back and down no matter where we go. So we're going to take a nice firm grip. From there, brace through the lats. So I'm literally looking to pull down on the bar and lift my head and my torso up while continuing to pull down. And all I'm going to do is set in position and hold. What we're looking for is to slowly build this up until we can hold for about 20-30 seconds without too much effort. If you get to the point where I'm hanging but I haven't got the lat strength to actually pull my shoulders back and down, we need to offset some of your weight. There's a couple of ways we can do this. One way is using a step or a chair, whatever it may be. So what I'll do, I'll get higher in and my legs will just take some of the weight off, and I'll literally engage and hold just as before. As I get good at it, I'll just have even less contact with the step, and I'll build it up until I've completely removed the step and I'm in that hang position where my shoulders are still back and down, the lats are pulling nice and tight, and I've got a soft bend in my elbow. So build that up nice and gradually so we can do it successfully for about 20 to 30 seconds, and then we'll be ready to progress onto the next stage.
I hope you know that I exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me. Yeah, I'm doing what I make you. I'm not the...
So mastering the hang, and you're nice and comfortable with shoulders in position. The next thing is to try and build some strength in the lats. We're actually going to do this with an eccentric contraction, also known as a negative. So we're really strong when our muscles are lengthening, so we're going to look to tap into that. There's a couple of ways you can do it. One is jumping up, or two is using a step or an aid to help yourself get up there. So I'll take a nice firm grip, I'll jump as high as I can to the bar, I'll brace and slowly lower. Now ideally, I want to be taking this around over 10 to 20 seconds and go to a point where my arms are long, but my shoulders are still back and down. Rest off and look to repeat that between 6 and 8 reps. If you can't meet the 6 to 8 reps, go for 4. Build it up as you go, and as you get good at it and used to it, progress up to the 6 to 8. Now make sure you give yourself a good 2 minutes rest after each set. So let's say I've done 8, give yourself 2 minutes, plenty of rest, recover well, and then look to apply it again. If you struggle to get up there, I can't really jump, I'm struggling to get my chin near the bar, simply use a step, get nice and high, get the chin above, engage, and slowly lower from that point. Again, it's the same concept. Make sure it's nice and slow on the way down. 10 to 20 seconds, really slow and controlled. Take a breather before then repeating and lowering yourself nice and gradually. Once you're doing a good 8 reps over, let's say, 3 sets with rest in between, you're very successful of that, we're going to start engaging more of a pull-up motion. So from there, I might start with a step. So I've got less distance in which to pull. I'll reset, got less distance in which to pull, and I'll control the motion down. As I get good at it, I'm just going to start building and building and building the range until I'm literally pulling up and down, nice and controlled, chin above the bar. As you're training and as you're progressing, try to keep the eccentric really quite slow, really quite controlled to make sure we're still developing them lats. Now ideally, we need to be always working over that full range of motion, but it is quite tough. To mix things up and to add variety in, don't be afraid to kind of add partial movements. So a partial movement might be a low range, so my shoulders are back, I'm hanging, and I'm literally just going to lift halfway and back. I can have a little respites off that if I needed to, halfway back, or even high ranges where I'm nice and high, I'm literally stopping and controlling that high movement. That'll help us get strong at different angles right the way through the movement. So if you are struggling to progress, to get all the way up and down, start breaking that up into kind of more workable chunks. Again, we're looking at being successful over 6 to 8 reps, good 2 minutes rest in between, and looking to complete around 3 sets of that. Now a nice little aid that can help you progress through that motion once we're kind of starting to move is these resistance bands, resistance loops. They come in different sizes in terms of thicknesses and different lengths as well, so do go check them out before you buy them. Now as a rule, the thicker and kind of stronger it is, the more it's going to help you. So you may need different ones where I've just started out, I need a lot of help lifting the weight, and I get better and better as I progress. Now they're really quite simple, so all we're going to do is pop it over the bar, pop the back end through the loop, and then just give that a gentle pull, make sure it's nice and secure. Now depending on the size of the loop and how much tension is running through it, it may be a knee or a foot that goes onto that. Length for this one and the height of the bar, that's going to be my knee placed in. So like I say, this is designed to take off some of the weight just to help my lats do a little less work so it can complete the full range. So I'll pop my knee on, brace, get a nice firm grip, lower myself, and as you can see, as I'm pulling up, the band is helping me lift, and it controls the lowering just a little bit more. But as always, try to keep the repetitions really slow and controlled, especially on that lowering negative effect. We can always double these bands up, so there's one on both legs if we need to, or again, just get a thicker band if you need more help. Look to slowly but surely phase this out till you're developing that overall pull-up strength on your own. This will take time, this is not quick to progress with. You're lifting the whole of your body weight, your grip strength's going to have to develop with your back strength that's helping you lift. So try not to get frustrated, stay with the plan in terms of start with hanging, build up the negatives, and then slowly but surely build up the concentric, the pulling motion as we go. Remember, there's loads of little tips and tricks you can use, from jumping, using steps, using bands. If you have got any questions or you're struggling with your pull-ups, just pop us a comment below and we'll get back in touch with you. Hope you found this video useful. Check out the other videos on our channel.